Man, Wes Burns, this is the question I've been looking forward to all day. He wants to know, what overreactions do you expect after week one? They can be negative or positive. Man, I'm just going to jump in if that's okay with you,
Sure.
Connor.
Go ahead.
I've got three.
Oof.
First and foremost, I think fans are going to overreact either way to McCall Hardman's performance. If he has a big game,
Yes.
people are going to say that it's fixed. If he has a bad game, people are going to say the sky's falling. So that's number one. I think if the first team offensive line plays well, the hype train's going to go like off the rails, I think. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I can see that happening. And then third, if the trio of hated on players, any of them, Demarcus Robinson, Dan Sorensen, Ben Niemann, if any of them makes one bad play, it's going to be absolutely haywire. Like the cut Robinson chance, they're going to show up at like their houses with pitchforks. It's going to be insane. Like, listen, guys, Demarcus Robinson has a clear floor with the Chiefs, and it's 450 yards and like 4 or 5 touchdowns. He's done it for the past 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. That's more than Byron Pringle's been able to give them. That's more than Darius Fountain's been able to give to any team. That's more than Marcus Kemp's been able to give to any team. And that's not to say they wouldn't maybe put up similar stats if given those snaps or opportunities, but Demarcus Robinson, he's not going anywhere unless he like single-handedly loses to Chiefs multiple games. Like he's not leaving the team. He's going to leave special
Almost
teams
lost him
duty.
that Saints game last
Yeah,
year.
and the
Jeez.
Chiefs sure as hell brought him back for the next season. So he's not going anywhere. Dan Sorensen's not going anywhere. Ben Niemann definitely isn't going anywhere. If you could watch Chiefs football last season and they didn't have to bring him back, wasn't he exclusive, right? So it was basically free to. They could have made him a special teamer. He was maybe going to be the dime linebacker regardless of Willie Gay's injury status. So those guys, I understand the concerns. I really do. I know that they make bad plays. I know they're limited players. I know there's more talented options at all three of those positions in terms of raw talent, athleticism, stuff like that. But please don't be that person. And I know everyone's going to be that person
Are you
anyways,
asking
but
me? Because I
I,
will probably be that
I
person.
I know everyone will be that person that goes on and says, "Cut this guy. This guy sucks. He's trash." Like that's the one I'm most worried about. Not that I like any of those three players, but I just the overreaction is going to be serious.
Those are pretty good ones, honestly. I think the offensive line is going to be interesting. I think we won't see the tight end room used a lot, um, just because it's going to be Noah Gray, a rookie, and Jody Fortson, kind of just learning the position. So whatever the Chiefs, because we saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire last year, he wasn't used much as a pass catcher for his whole rookie year. So there might be some ramp up time for Noah Gray and Jody Fortson to be used in the offense. Maybe some goal line packages, but I don't think it'll look that much different compared to last year. So there might be some pessimism about the tight end room. I would just say have some patience. And I think we've heard this one countless times over the last few years. Even though it's the Browns and their offensive line is great and their running game's great, we'll probably hear chants about how the run defense is trash again, just because Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt behind that offensive line is probably going to rush for over 100 yards. If they don't, I think they stopped them pretty well in the playoff game. If they don't, that'd be impressive to me. I don't even mind if they rush for over 100 yards. Just, getting key stops would be fine. But like total yardage, it's like they're probably going to get theirs. It's fine. They're great players and a great offensive line. But people kind of lose sight about that and just look at the box scores at the end sometimes, and they'll see, oh, the Chiefs defense gave up 170 yards rushing. They're going to be trash again. I would say, well, let's wait a bit. They're playing a top 3 rushing team in the NFL. Let's just cool the Jets and see what happens. I mean, the next week would be the Ravens, right? So it's like top 3, 2 top 3 rushing teams in the first 2 weeks. The run defense might not be ranked very highly, let's say, in the league as a whole after 2 weeks. So I think we might have to wait a bit to see how well the run defense is especially when Willie Gay will be coming back after 3 weeks. So getting the 3 starting linebackers back will also help that.
Well, Connor, didn't you hear that the only key you need to beat the Chiefs is just run the ball? That's it. You just have, well, I guess you can control the clock too, but if you run the ball, that's what's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you finish your drives with field goals or not. It doesn't matter if you play good defense. It doesn't matter if you fumble. You just pick up some first downs running the ball, beat the Chiefs.
Time of possession.
That's
the
it.
key, Jordan.
It's
I really
simple.
hate that Colts game and Texans game happened back to back those few years ago, where it kind of was the reason, but even if you look into it, it really wasn't the reason. But the perception from those games was, oh, there's the formula. That's the formula to beat the Chiefs. Run the ball, control the clock. And it's like, no, well, sure, but you're also relying on the Chiefs offense to be as bad as they were in those 2 games, when those were like historically bad Patrick Mahomes games. 1, because of injuries, and 2, just because there were some fluke plays in those games. So you're relying on your defense to hold the Chiefs to 13 points. I don't think that's a very smart decision, I guess you could say. So the fact that that's been championed since 2019 now, that's the way to beat the Chiefs midway through 2019. I'm kind of tired of it, and it'll be said again this year and probably next year, and then the year after that. It's just a bit annoying.